For today's session, what we'll try and do is we'll try and replicate this chart. First, we'll understand there's a chart called Candlestick Chart. We'll see where it can be used, and then we'll get into how we can create this chart. And towards the end of the session, I also have a couple of tips for you. So that will be a broad plan for today's session. So first, coming to the candlestick chart, so we can see, let me explain what information it contains. So I normally, as of now, I'm connected to stock price data, okay, Facebook's historical stock price data, and I've filtered for last 3 months. And what this candlestick chart is portraying here is basically the stock price details. For example, if whenever you are interested in about stock price, how is it trending over day across day, so there are 4 things that you will be concerned with normally. What is the high opening and closing price on for each day, and what is the high and low. So high and low represents, hey, what was the highest point that the stock price has reached on that day, and the lowest price that the stock price has reached on that day. So, and this type of a chart will basically help convey that 4 metrics on a day-to-day basis very conveniently for the end user. So if we see here, so how to read this chart. So each mark is a day, okay, and on each mark I have two types of I would say individual marks. So on each day, so one is this thickest bar and one is the other thin bar, we can call it as line. So, and there's a color. So for example, if we see in the tooltip, the opening price as on this day is 279.16 and closing price is 286.55. So what's happening here is that the opening and closing price is represented by the thickest bar. So basically it's starting from here 279.6 and it's going all the way towards up towards 286.5. And the line that represents the thin line, that is representing the high and low price. Hey, the highest price has been, though the closing price was 286 and opening was 279, but on that day the highest point reached was 289 and the lowest point that was reached was 278. And likewise for this one as well, the high and low being the edges of thin line and the opening and closing being the edges of the thick bar. And what the color has, color represents here is about the stock price change. Okay, for example, here we see that the opening price is low and the closing price is high. So at the end of the day, stock price has increased on this day. So that's why it's blue in color. But whereas if you see here, the opening price is 286.25 and the closing price is 281.8. The stock price has decreased as on this day. So it's basically, hey, it started over here on the top of the thick bar and reduced and closed down on the end of the thick bar. So it's so wherever we see red color, it's basically stock price has decreased, and wherever we see blue color, the stock price has increased. So that's how we read a candlestick chart on a stock price. We can use it for any other similar cases as well. So if we see, there are few days that are missing. For example, here it's on 12th 4 and here we have 12/7. So in between there are 2 days, 5 and 6 are missing because normally this data is having only weekdays data. So any Saturday, Sundays or any public holidays will be missing. So let's create how let's see how to create a candlestick chart. Okay, and I'm working on the same data, Facebook data. So I have these data fields with me, the date column, and as on each day, what is the opening and closing price, what is the high and low price. So first of all, let me first filter. I have many years of data, so but as of now let me just select 3 months, so that way it will be easier for us. Let me something, these two should be fine for now. So, and then let's drag the continuous month. I'm sorry, the day, since we are looking at day level days. And then first let's try and create the thick bar, so which is basically about opening and closing price. So let me pull open, some open, so it has given me an opening trend line for all the opening price. And let me change the mark type from line to a can bar. So now we see that, hey, for on each day at a certain opening price of that day, I have a Gantt bar that is opening up. Now, now my intention, as we saw, I should have the length of this bar reciprocating or corresponding to the size of the change, right? And I can obviously have low, open and close, so I can create a different calculated field between these two, giving me the difference that I can use as a size for that particular mark. So that will kind of give me the it creates the Gantt bar like a bar chart sort of thing. So let me create change in price, whatever the close minus open. Click OK, and let me put this in size. Okay, now based on this change, all my Gantt bars are sized in length. So for example, let me just pull in also close and detail, so I can just see it. Opening is on 279, almost on the same, and closing on 286. So I have a length between length of length between those two numbers. And then obviously I have the bar. Now I need to color it based on the change, right? If it's increasing, if the stock price has increased on that day, it should be a certain color. If it's not, if it decreased, it should be of another color. So for that, I'll create another holding the information if it has increased or not. So change in price, if it's greater than 0 on that day, then consider them as one category and other as other. So let me put that in color and just change the colors. Wherever it has increased, put that in green, and wherever it has not, put that right. So yeah, so here the stock price has increased from 279 to 286, so it is green. It has decreased from 286 to 281, so it is red, and likewise for all of them. Now I've created the thick bar, which is related to the opening and closing price. Now I need to create the thin bar for high, to capture the information of high and low. It's a similar technique that I've used here. I'll just pull my high to make this chart, and let me just drop all this information from here. Okay, it's a bar again, and again I need to create the length of now the bottom chart reciprocating to the difference between high and low. So I'll create another calculated field, change in high and low, sum of low minus sum of high. Okay. And bring that to size, and we have got that. And let me just reduce the size thickness of the bar, thereby it looks like a slight line. And then let me create a dual axis for these two, so they overlap properly. Where is it? Dual axis. And let me, okay, now I think show header, synchronize axis, and last thing, let me just remove the 0 from the header, so it will got this line. And So it's slightly you can adjust the thickness of the bars accordingly. Yeah, and now we have created achieved what we want to convey. So high and low as a thin line, and the opening and closing as a thick line, and the color representing either increment or decrement. I can, so one thing I can do here is we can see that the thin line is basically on the top of the thick line, so I can select the axis that is representing the thin line and set that to backward, so that way it's kind of clean now. And then after that I have some formatting that will make this chart a little more better. So let me just hide this axis, and I can change the title to price. Okay, and then I can see some lines here there, so I'll just edit them as well. Red lines none. And I think that's it.
Hey, Jagadish, so can you just tell how did you send one of the axes back? Right, the lines you send them back, right?
Yeah, so we have the option there. So I select here, I have move marks to the front. So as of now, they are on the back.
Okay, to the front, is it? So you uncheck and it will go back, is it? That's
right. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, sounds good.
So yeah, so that's how we create a candlestick chart. So as of now, the proper use case for this is obviously the stock price, but we can find any similar cases where you have to represent the high and low, and also that change. I think this is the this would be the proper chart to represent that sort of information.
That's nice. Yeah, perfect. Hey, using Gantt for even that line is interesting. You use Gantt only, na, for line also?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. Because typically you would think, see, if you look at what's that, there's a framework that you mentioned in that article, Jairam, SFC or something. What's that called?
I forgot it just. I think it was the FDC principle.
FDC, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think, yeah. So anyways, that's good. So we have that line, and so that's a Gantt. That's beautiful. So actually, one other thing I thought you would do is to mark the beginning and the ending. So you didn't really mark the beginning and ending. You only marked the the beginning, right, and the change, right? So change, if it's positive, it goes up. Right. Otherwise, it goes down.
Right.
Right. So that's also very interesting. That's good. Perfect.
Okay. So that's about the candlestick chart.